Doctor. Welcome to another episode of our monthly webinar. And for those who have just joined us, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you guys to help me welcome our honorable speaker, which is Dr. Edward Chan, who is a PhD holder in psychology and completed Master of Science in Learning and Masters in Nutritional Medicine. Dr. Chan is also a fellow of the Malaysian Association for Psychotherapy, board members of the EAP, Professionals Association of Malaysia, International Society for Psychotherapy, Counseling and Psychiatry as well. So Doctor also has been invited to be a speaker on many different forums, which includes like the Ministry of Women and Social Unity Family Health Forum, in 2024 International Society for Schema Therapy Conference, 2023 Malaysian Association for Lifestyle Medicine, 9th World Congress for Psychotherapy, and to all the latest one, which was 2025 in October, to be one of the speaker on the Women Forum on the ASEAN Young Entrepreneurs Council. And not forgetting, Doctor also wrote many books, which also include Never Fail Out of Love Again, Soaking the Fire of Your Love So It Never Dies. And he's the co-author of Handbook of the Current Research and Practices on Cognitive Behavioral Therapy in Asia, published in the Journal of Reattack Therapy and Developmental Diversities. And of course, the latest book which Dr. Deep wrote on about. What was it? Something about Never Dies.
When love dies.
I actually got a copy of myself, and there was a few things that I actually kind of agree with in that book. Now, for those who have just joined our webinar, this is the chance that you can ask questions when it comes to anything and everything about love, even questions that you dare not ask. So I personally would take this opportunity to ask some of the questions as well. So for the first half session of our webinar today, we're going to focus on being single, how to look for the right partner, and then we're going to move forward to when we are with a partner, moving forward into a marriage, and then we're going to close this session by talking more about how to deal with a heartbreak or also a divorce. So, Doctor.
Maybe, thank you for the kind introduction. There might be a few things that will be relevant in my credential for today's topic, which is my postgraduate training in couple therapy, like couple schema therapy, emotion-focused couple therapy. This is a very specialized type of couple therapy, imago couple therapy, which are all put together in my new upcoming book, Agape Self-Therapy.
Which Dr. Edward Chan is also a love sensei. You know, sometimes when I got into a roadblock, you know, in terms of who I'm seeing or who I'm not, sometimes I'll definitely ask doctor on some tips. So being single, you know, a lot of people say, I don't know where to find a partner, I don't know how. And also leading towards with, I think this thing about self-love, a lot of people hear about this self-love thing, but nobody tell us how being, you know, single and pour the love back into yourself. What's your take on the self-love terms?
Well, I think yes, that is for sure very important. Ironically, it is when you don't need to have a relationship that you are ready for a relationship. When you think you need someone, then you are too clingy. You are, you know, your relationship, I wouldn't say doomed to fail, but you're installing a lot of problems for yourself.
Now,
right? So you quite right. You need to be self-sufficient, you know, love yourself, and when you do meet someone, that someone should be adding value to what is already a very complete life of yours.
But how do we do that? Like nobody ever tells, it's like the concept is that, but nobody ever tells us about self-love. What is self-love about? For an example, over the weekend, I spend money on myself, hair, manicure, pedicure.
Well, you take care of yourself. You do things that is meaningful for yourself, right? That is satisfying for yourself, right? It could be hanging out with friends. It could be doing your hairdo, right? For me, it could be looking at my fish that gives me satisfaction.
Okay.
Right?
So those are the healthy ones. We are not talking about drinking too much or spending too much because
so we need to make a distinction between pleasure and enjoyment.
Okay.
Right? I think it was Oscar Wilde, the famous British writer, that said anything pleasurable is
addictive.
Exactly. Right? So pleasure is fitting. Right? So have you ever seen a beer advertisement where the guy is drinking by himself? No, right?
No.
Yeah. Rather, when you see an advertisement of beer, they'll be drinking with what?
Friends.
Exactly. So that is the essential difference.
Okay.
Right? Okay. Enjoyment is where you make memory with others.
Okay.
Pleasure, you can have pornography, pleasure or whatnot, right? Shopping pleasure by yourself.
Yeah.
Which
for the internal wounds.
Which you will not remember much after the event, versus the enjoyment you have with your daughter for a meal or other friends, right? Yeah. So that's a key difference.
Yeah. Okay. So still being single, sometimes we do feel lonely, going home, you live alone, you are a very much introvert person. Being extrovert, yes, fine. You probably have a lot of activities out there. What about single and being as an introvert? How do you not feel lonely?
Well, you do things that are satisfying for you, and even as an introvert, you can have connections with others, right? So my model of good match is actually opposite personality, right? I'm developing a dating app actually that is based on opposites. So as an introvert, then you would want to meet someone who is an extrovert, and there will be a natural attraction to this person. Okay. And you know why?
I don't know why. Enlighten me, doctor.
Right. Well, it's the psyche has a wisdom, right? We are in this world, the world of training, the hard knock world, right? So it's a fleeting moment that we are here. But whilst we're here to learn, right? If you're going to cohabitate or marry someone who is exactly the same as you, but learning lessons, do you think there will be no conflict, right? Everything the same. Both of you going to stay at home, watch Netflix.
That's what I like to do.
Exactly, but there's no growth.
Okay.
Whereas you meet someone who's opposite you, that they will stretch you, they will bring you to another world.
Yeah.
And then you will bring them to another world. Okay. So with this,
kind of makes sense now.
Yeah.
Makes sense now, because I always believe that I always have this thing, when I was in a relationship, doctor, back then, right? And I always argue with my ex-partner, is like, I wish you were a little bit more like me, more understanding, more empathy. I don't understand. When it comes to argument, we all say the things like, why can't you be like me?
That is like in a musical, My Fair Lady. Why can woman be more like man, right? Remember that.
So how do you explain on this?
Well, Exactly. So after that attraction of the opposite,
Right.
then comes the agenda from each party
Right.
to make the other person to be more like themselves, right? Because what initially was attractive
Yeah.
to the person, the extrovert, the spontaneity, become a source of frustration for them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, why are you so damn disorganized, right?
Why are you
Because-
so quiet? Why are you not talking?
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm arguing with you.
So all these opposite elements become a source of frustration, and they want to change the other person to be more like them. And when you have both party doing the same, then you have an impasse.
But isn't that it's a conflict because you said we look for opposite attraction, and then
Well,
comes the conflict.
subconsciously, right?
Right.
We don't consciously look for that, but subconsciously our psyche drives us to that, to be attracted to someone who
So how do we-
opposite.
yeah.
Remember the film Twilight,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Edward Cullen
Yeah.
is so attracted to Bella, who
Mhm.
was like the total opposite. She's so
Yeah.
ordinary,
Mm.
quiet, and he's so
Yeah.
flamboyant, but that's attraction, right?
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
very unconscious.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So how do we find that heart? Okay. This is a little bit personal to myself. I realize that I tend to pick the same type of men who are emotionally unavailable, or either they are here but they are not here. So how do you? I would like to change this dynamic now. Since I'm in my peaceful girl era, I do not want my next partner to come along. It's gonna be like the same pattern. So how do you explain that when one person tends to choose the same cycle of men, the same pattern of men?
Yeah. So this is where the idea of unmet needs come about, right?
Right.
Proposed by the couple therapist Havel Hendricks, right? So like I mentioned, I'm also imago therapy trained. So we have a set of needs, right, as children,
Right.
and I have published a paper in the Journal of Cognitive Research and Therapy for
Okay.
those. We can put down a link there in YouTube.
Okay.
Where we document all these unmet needs, right? That originally there were like 18 by Jeffrey Young, the founder of schema therapy.
Right.
But me and my colleagues, we add a few more to it, like 3 more actually. So it is impossible, right, for parents to fulfill all these
Right.
unmet needs of their children. But any unfulfilled unmet needs, we can, in a wide sense, consider it as abuse.
Okay.
Right? For abuse to happen, we don't need to think only of physical or sexual, but any unfulfilled unmet needs like nurturing, sense of safety, sense of emotional nurturing, like you mentioned. So if your sense of emotional nurturing was not met when you were young, right? Then there's this pain and wound in you to want to get healed, and that's why you find someone who will trigger this wound in you, so that this time, hopefully, right? All this is unconscious, that you would get this need met.
Okay.
So that's a driving force, psychologically, for why you are attracted to the same type of man as your parents, or rather the negative qualities of your parents who are like detached or whatever, and then you'll find it in a man who has similar negative traits.
So this applies where you're in your teens, in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s.
Yeah, until you seek a therapist that help you to realize this.
it doesn't mean that the age, right? The older I grow, the wiser I become to choose a partner. So it doesn't apply. So when you say that these needs are not being met during childhood, it doesn't matter if I am, let's say, 50 years old this year, I would have grown into a much more wiser woman, but still I still fall into this loop.
Yes.
If it doesn't heal.
Until, no, it will heal if you seek a therapist.
That's what I mean.
To help you realize that you have this wound. In psychology term, we call that schema.
Right.
A maladaptive schema, like a fear of abandonment, for example. Right?
I believe.
I mean, this can be healed, of course, with insight, with therapy, and that's why we have this mode of practice called couple schema therapy. So there'll be a schema clash. I wrote a paper. I have another paper for schema chemistry that I can we can put down the link there that was published.
Let's not keep hurting each other, right? Let's not keep hurting each other. So, okay, now that being as a single, maybe we can do an assessment, just like what doctor said, we can do a schema YSQ on ourselves, just to understand about our childhood needs that weren't being met.
Well, I think the best way is to see a therapist to help you derive on this type of unmet needs and schema, maladaptive schema. The questionnaire that we have is a supporting tool, but it's not like, I would say 100% valid. It still need a clinician to extract what are your maladaptive schema. That would be best.
So now that Maggie, we have fixed that. Okay, let's move forward. I am ready to date. Now that I'm on my first date. So doctor, can you help us to determine on my first date, what is a red flag, what is not, or are we compatible?
Okay, so let's look at the term compatible or incompatible. What does it mean, right? Compatible, that doesn't mean that it is about being able to live with someone.
Okay.
And even that is no longer like necessary that you need to be under one roof, right? It is quite common to be together but apart. Maybe you desire different living arrangement that can still be compatible. So the key is whether you are able to live together. So the most important aspect of that are your values.
Okay.
Right?
The values.
Yeah. So if, for example, you value growth, right, learning, and then your partner value conserving and not spending money or whatever, so that's an incompatibility there, because you want to like spend to go to new places for growth, and you'll be having continuous argument about what to do and things. So really, values are like what are important to you. Yeah, like if you want to have a family extension and he doesn't, right? Those are deal breakers.
Then we say thank you to each other, pay the bill, and we'll never see each other for a second date. Simple as it. Don't waste each other's time.
So actually we do have instruments and assessment to call Prepare.
Okay.
Right. So over a series of questions, we're able to identify whether you have similar values on key areas.
So do I take these questions while I'm going on a first date?
Well, these questions are more for two persons to take, right? So that you can see whether your value, if you take by yourself, you just know your values, right? But if you have 2%, then we can say the percentage of agreement in these values is what? Is it like 80% or 10%? There's like no agreement.
What's a good score?
Well, like 80, 70%, 80%. right?
Yeah, I think it would be a good idea to bring along this type of questions. Do you agree, Doctor? Not
Yeah, I
to
mean,
that person
exactly.
away.
Otherwise, you are setting up time bombs in your relationship. It was going to blow up on you.
Yeah.
We're not saying that things cannot work out. So when you have like very low percentage of agreement on all these important areas, then we can do some counseling to see whether things can be work out.
Yeah. So these type of questions are actually good before you decided if you want to go into a relationship. You go for a date or even before a marriage.
Oh yeah, definitely before marriage. Yeah. So you can date. Date is for you to get to know, the other person, right? But unfortunately, a lot of people do not ask these important questions. How do you feel about family extension? For example, how do you feel about what is your view about growing and learning in life, right? So rather we just say what Netflix
What is
topics you like, but even then that is an avenue to open up. Why do you like that show, right? So it can be a way into deeper conversation where we talk about values and things that are important to each other.
But I believe some of the because we are from this industry, we have this background and knowledge. But for some people, they don't. So that this is why we have this webinar and to give the knowledge as well. So what about the people that are actually, which is much more reserved? They kind of like very tradition. They just follow like, okay, we see how let's go for a date. Okay, no complaint. Let's move on. Let's carry on. It's more like just to tick the box. And I believe I will have a lot to say because I believe sometimes people don't feel love because they don't understand the love languages. So what's your take on this? Do people actually needs to study your partner's love language? Because I'm not too much a person of the gift. What is the love language? Quality time, physical touch, words of affirmation, act of service, and gifting. So how do you feel love? Because these things are very subjective.
Well, yeah, that is due to the work of John Gottman, and his wife, love languages. That might be some truth there that people do feel love in certain ways, right? But I think in truth that we are all a mixed bunch, right? We do appreciate some gifts, some time, some act of services. Yeah.
So it's just not one specific, like for me, I probably enjoy the quality time and the physical touch. But maybe, yeah, you're right. Once in a while, receiving a nice gift is also, so it has to, for the 5 love languages, it has to be balanced, like what you're saying.
Well, yes. But the most important thing is to know what your partner needs.
Yeah, the partner's needs. Okay.
Yeah, and I think I like the definition of love by M. Scott Peck, right? The psychiatrist who wrote the book, The Road Less Traveled. He defined love as your willingness and ability to stretch yourself for another person without hurting yourself, without breaking yourself.
It's exhausting sometimes just to example, let's just put it this way. Example, my partner loves to watch horror movie whilst I don't. But because I love my partner, I have to be supportive, so I have to struggle that 2.5 hours.
Well, so this is where a very important concept of being together means, right? So it is, we have already talk about differences.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
And all couples, I believe, have differences. Even though you're both the same race, same culture, there will be differences, right, between two persons. So the question is, how do we manage the difference, right? So what you talk about, tolerating, suppressing your own needs to do what your partner like, that is like losing yourself.
Yeah, even with something that I don't like.
Yeah. So that is a common way to manage difference, which is unhealthy, right? Because then you will resent it, and then one day you will
blow up.
Exactly. Yeah. So the other way is to fight about it, right? To have conflict, from couples to nations. They don't see eye to eye because of the differences, right? So that is of course also not healthy. We have films like Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, right? Of couples fighting, like cat and dogs.
Yeah. So these are the things that, because you did not, what we call the love audit, you didn't audit your relationship, or you didn't talk about things, you just
there will be differences. So the question is how we manage it, right? Yeah. And the third way is to remove yourself, which again is very common, right? Partner have go shopping, go playing golf, go drinking. So even though they are in a marriage, in a relationship, they are not emotionally there. Right, so that's how you deal with the difference. You remove yourself. So the fourth way, which is the way we recommend, is to engage in the difference. So you like horror movie, great, go and enjoy yourself, maybe with your friends. Yeah, and I like comedy, then I enjoy myself, and later we can come back and talk about it,
Okay.
Yeah. Or even from time to time, I don't mind going with you once in a while to watch horror movie and see how I can grow, and you come with me to watch comedy. So there are different ways of engaging in the difference, but not like all the time I go with you to watch horror movie, then I will be losing myself, and I don't get to watch my comedy anymore.
Okay.
Right?
All right. We find the balance in this. Always have talk about it honestly with your partner.
Knowing our differences and feeling okay about it. Both our values are important.
Yeah.
It's about how we can manage.
Yeah.
And that is compatibility.
Okay. Right. So as a therapist yourself, doctor, so these are all the things that you look into: the compatibility, the differences, the way that a couple communicate, and also the way that how they audit their love. So this is when you will say, okay, good, go ahead, can chop sign and get married.
Yeah.
Okay. So what about these things that happens a lot in every country, which is what I see: pregnancy before marriage? What's your take on this?
Well, life is very important. It happens.
It's about, okay, now that I'm pregnant. So it's very automatically, like, especially from an Asian family, that now that she's pregnant, let's get married. So what's your take on this?
Well, I mean, if you're pregnant and your values are as such that
then it's okay.
That it is important to have the child, right? Then you follow your values. So the question is then whether you see eye to eye in those values, whether your partner also share that value or not, right? It is.
I see that some of the couples, whereas they already probably don't see eye to eye, or maybe one side knows that the other side is leaving. You know, this drama thing that I purposely make you pregnant, I purposely make you make me pregnant kind of thing. And then how do you deal with this complicated situation, you know, as a therapist? That, and then the parents like, oh, this is such a bad idea that you become a single parent. Why don't you know? It's always that thing about because of the kids, because of, you know, I'm pregnant now. Let's work on the relationship. How fairly do you think this is workable?
Well, I think there are a lot of culture, like in India now, for example, they believe in arranged marriage.
Right.
You know, so not on chemistry per se, but based on your astrological sign or caste or whatnot, right? So and that can work too, right? So you need to be together because of various predetermined circumstances, your astrology or your pregnancy, and then you learn how to love each other. You know, that is not impossible.
Yeah.
Right.
So we covered quite a bit now. So moving forward, we are all married. Things are going fine. 7 years into the marriage, suddenly things are boring. I feel like I want to have a little bit of adventure out there with someone else, which is the infidelity. Why do you think some marriages sort of like from a loving and then family and then into like, can you stop breathing, or I start hating you, or there's no spark? So how do we maintain the vows, like in sickness or in health, to death do us part? You know, like those romantic movie. Is it the romantic movie that wrecked us to feed us with the delusion, or is it the laziness from a couple that they don't find the sparks, or either it's just how it is? After 10 years of marriage, 20 years of marriage, there's just no sparks.
Well, so there are certain chemicals in our brain, right? Like dopamine, that is the predominant chemical that is at play when we first get to know someone, you know, and that would be the chemical that is that drive you towards novelty, towards growth, towards learning.
I'll do anything for you, even staying up until 3 o'clock in the morning, that type of thing.
Well, yeah, because there's novelty there.
Yeah.
Right? And then eventually there's another chemical called serotonin. Which is on attachment, oxytocin, or hormone, which is, you know, what you need to create a stable family, right? So it is true that a lot of couples, they forgot about how to keep dopamine, you know, the life relevant, right? So which is why I have this new model of psychotherapy, agape cells therapy. So the idea is based on an old psychology idea, the psychology of selves, that in fact we have many different selves.
Okay.
Right? So when we marry each other or go into a relationship, it's not like one-to-one. It's my community of selves, you know, getting to know your community of selves.
Okay.
So there is a never-ending exploration of me knowing about you.
Okay.
So there's no need for my dopamine to die.
Okay.
To extinguish. So I will always be curious about you, of your different selves, of your 20, 50, or whatever the different aspects of you that I yet to find out, to learn, right? So love in this model dopamine, or rather, aspect of love can always be maintained at a very high level.
Okay. So, all right, we've covered quite. Now, moving forward, before we end our webinar, if you do have any questions, please drop down your questions at the comment section. Now, Doctor, I understand that being as
so just to like wrap it what I was saying. So the problem is with that aspect, most couples feel like, oh, I already know my partner. Before your partner say anything, you
already know.
Yeah, I already know, and say this is not workable. That is just
so that's why like every year, Chinese New Year or Christmas is the same food on the table.
Or your cloud in the air. So we don't validate, we don't appreciate. So that is why you find your secretary who is so eager to hear from you or meet someone else who really are genuinely interested to listen to you. That's so affairs are not necessarily about sex. It's about having your needs met.
Yeah, I do agree with Doctor, because I find it kind of boring that my ex, he would only send me flowers on special occasions, and those flowers are the same. I mean, it's a good thought. Like, the art of the gifting, to me, come on lah. Just because I love stationeries, just because I love music, so every year the gift, it's the same thing, but just a different color or a different album. So to me, it's like, put a little bit more of effort lah, into all these things.
So the recommendation.
If my ex is watching this, an iPhone 17 would be nice if you want me back. Okay, continue.
Yeah, so the attitude we need for couples adopt is curiosity.
Yeah.
Continuous curiosity about your partner, about the different parts of them, the different selves that they have. Right?
It sounds like a job, Doctor. I mean, hearing all this.
Well, we have many roles in a relationship, and one of that is to be a therapist in a way, right? To be a nurturing, even a nurturing parent.
Let me think about if I'm ready to do this part, if I want to get into a new relationship. But like moving forward, because we don't really have much time left on this session. Doctor, as a psychologist, as a therapist, I know we are not there to decide for couples, for your breakup, for your divorce and whatsoever. Let's just not be biased. I want to know, let's just give me a straight answer. In what cases that you think this is a no-go, you guys are best to separate?
Well, when you find that your values are too different, right? Like I mentioned, and it is possible people change, right? You grow in different directions. Then you become, and it's not possible to negotiate this way of being together anymore.
I understand that like earlier on you say that there are many different selves in us. It's just that I'm willing to work on this part. Where else my partner wouldn't want to? It's
that is just the value of personal growth. You are interested in personal growth, of your many selves, and your partner are not. It's not. Then there is that big incompatibility.
Okay, so now that split up, how do we go into a healing, a breakup? How do we deal with a breakup? Breakup it's hard. It took me maybe 3 years to heal from.
Well, there needs to be grieving, but also celebration, right?
A celebration, a breakup is a celebration?
Yeah, I think there are some countries we have a breakup, event like a wedding ceremony, we have a breakup ceremony.
I'd like to move there. I'd like to move to that country.
But why not? Because you might have 2, 3 years, 10 years, or whatnot, or being together, and so breakup is not necessarily a failure, right?
I don't ever think it's a failure.
Exactly. So you had this number of times, length of time of being together, and that is a successful venture, right? So that needs celebration. Why people find it difficult is because they're stuck in bitterness.
Because I see that some people tend to move on pretty quick, where else, yes, you're right, I am the bitter one.
Yeah, because you don't remember the, you're not grateful for the good times you had together, for the successful time you had together.
Do you think this bitterness is like, like, I wish bad things happen to you, I just wish, all this. Why some people handles it better while some people are more on...
Well, I think it was Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, the creator of grief therapy, that she talked about different emotions of grief, and anger is one of it. So we need to process all these different emotions. Right? Otherwise, we get stuck in anger or bitterness or whatnot. But the way to counter bitterness and anger is appreciation. The celebration of that good time you had together, and be thankful for that. That will make you less bitter and help you to let go, right?
I see which bad thing happens to them. Very bitter. So you do recommend to go into a healing process and to grieve about this?
Grief counseling.
But is there a time frame to grieve?
Well, I mean, what? So having talked about those emotions,
right?
We cannot get you bypass all of them, without feeling those emotions. So what grief counseling help is to accelerate the healing process, to give you that catalyst to process all these difficult emotions, fear, sadness, unacceptance, right?
Book me one session, doctor. Just book me one session. Look at me, how bitter I am. Okay, so when do you think, you see, one thing about relationship is pretty interesting. It's a cycle, sometimes it's either you end with a good marriage or you don't, and then the cycle begins now. When do you think I am ready to date?
Well, when you are finding yourself that you don't need anyone, you have peace, you satisfied with your life. Then this is when you're ready. You
need to go through all the cycle once again, just go back.
Then you find someone who can add value to your already complete life. So it's the opposite of Jerry Maguire in this Hollywood film.
You complete me.
Yeah, it's not about you complete me.
You had me at hello. Do you think love stories and all this Bridgerton to all this Hollywood movie actually wrecked us by giving us all this delusion in romance, in love,
well, romance and dopamine are great. They're part of it, but they are not everything. So so you don't see in romantic movie discussion about finance, about how to do the laundry or taking the trash out, right? This seems a bit unromantic. They'll be at watching sunset.
Take out the trash without me instructing. It's romantic.
Exactly. Right.
It is romantic. That little thing that I don't have to like.
Right.
It's romantic.
Yes. So all those what we feel are unromantic things are actually very needed, to have a romantic partnership.
So
right? Yeah, not just watching sunset together and right.
So for those who are still on our webinar, if you have any questions, difficult one, hard ones, like how the hard ones I asked Dr. early on, feel free, drop your questions at the comment section. So let's wrap up this session. Doctor, do you have any advice for those who are single, who are in a relationship, for those who are in a marriage, and also marriage, the sparkle is about to die, and for those who are going through a breakup?
Well, for those who are not yet in a relationship, get to know yourself, right? And of course, one of the good ways to seek a therapist to find out, what are important to you, right? What are some of the unmet needs that you have, right? So then when you find a partner again, you might want to find a couple therapist at the initial stage. Go dating by all means, but when you feel that this is someone serious, I want to try, then seek a therapist to do premarital counseling, do some assessment, on values, unmet needs, and all that, so that you don't go into an unconscious marriage, right? So you'll go into a conscious marriage with both of them knowing exactly, what are your needs, your unmet needs, and then how to request this from each other. What are all your different selves that you have, right? And how you can have different categories of activities. It is important to play. It is important to grow. It is important to take care of your household, your children, right? All these need to be given time and negotiated.
For the heartbreaking one?
Well, then you need to go through the process, right, of processing all these different emotions, and get yourself healed, accept that that there is meaning. Your meaning do not depend on this other person. You yourself are able to have a very satisfying, wonderful life, and then you're ready to find someone else if if it happens.
Yep.
But it's not like a must.
Dr. Shen is really throwing a lot of hints on me that I need to heal and book myself a session of asking me to stop being so bitter. However, to those who have joined us today, thank you so much for your valuable time. I hope you've learned something new, including myself as well. So coming up for next month, stay tuned for another new different topic. If you have any topic that you would like us to host in, you can always let us know on our social media, which is International Psychology Center on our Facebook, and also on our TikTok account, and also our Instagram account. So we welcome your valuable feedback and also any topics that you would like us to host in.
And I might add, in this very important area of relationship, we do have a lot of training courses in International Psychology Center on couple therapy, sex therapy. Couples, families need a lot of help, and we need to train more therapists to do in this wonderful work, meaningful work that will give satisfaction for all.
So just like as what Doctor said, if you're interested, you can actually look into our website as well, www.counseling.com.my. Yes.
And also www.psychology.com.my, which has all the courses listed there as well.
If you would like to learn more about psychology and to heal someone bitter like me, please do so. And moving forward, thank you so much once again, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. Happy Valentine's Day. It doesn't have to be in a relationship. You can always love yourself as well. Just like me, I have a date, but with my eyelash extension therapist. That is self-love. And also, Happy Chinese New Year.
Happy Chinese New Year.
Right.
And
so thank you so
also
much, Doctor, for your
happy Ramadan as well, I think.
Right. So let us know which topic that you'd like us to host. So once again, thank you for joining us. I'm Joanne, and together with Dr. Edward Chan. Thank you for watching.
Bye-bye. See you again
Thank
soon.
you.